Hi everyone, this is Janette Toral of digitalfilipino.com and welcome to the Digital Leader Bootcamp. I'm going to talk about the 6 qualities of a digital leader. And while talking about this topic, I'm going to share about my experience as well um, on these qualities and reflecting on our experience with Digital Filipino. And I hope that this will be useful for you as you reflect and think about how will these qualities apply to you? Which areas are you already strong in right now? And which are some of the areas that you might need to work on in so far as building them in yourself and strengthening them and hopefully if you have them already, tap them so that you can make your digital business prosper. So, the first quality of a digital leader, I believe, is all about having a clear vision. When I say having a clear vision, it's not just about knowing what you want and how it's going to impact others. I think it's also about thinking for the long term. Like, for example, when I first thought of digitalfilipino.com back in 1999, the only idea I had then was to put up an e-commerce website, a resource website, to make it informational so that people interested in e-commerce can refer to it and learn more about it. I use it also as a platform to launch my book then, which was the Digital Filipino, an e-commerce guide for the e-Filipino. And then year after year, I would go about making anniversary blog posts, citing what we have done for the year, and share it with friends. And then my friends would say congratulations, and that's it. But then on our 13th year, I did not make an anniversary blog post. I was thinking then, and I thought, shucks, I think there's a possibility that Digital Filipino will turn 20 sooner or later. And I thought, how do I want Digital Filipino to become like when it reaches that point? And that's when I realized that although I had a clear vision on what I want Digital Filipino to become, but my vision was not far enough to the point that when I think about the vision that I have formulated since then, I realized all the opportunities that I have turned down, that I have shunned away from, because at that time I felt that it won't fit me or it's not aligned to what I do. But now that I am thinking of having a Startup 100 project, helping 100 startups who would like to do an e-commerce endeavor, I realized that there are so many opportunities in the past. Entrepreneurs approaching me, asking me if I can become part of their project that I have turned down. And I realized that if I have thought about that as early as then, maybe things would have been different. Maybe I would have embraced more opportunities. And I think, and because of that, now whenever I get to talk to people and talk about putting up their own business, I always advise them now to really think about what do they really want to become, what is their vision is going to be like, not being just short term in terms of achieving whatever near term objective that you may have, but it's all about um, having a clear picture on how you're going to achieve it. So let's say if I always say the motto that for the growth of e-commerce in the Philippines, that means that growth is not just about giving the information and helping people go about it, but it's also about becoming part of it and participating, playing a role in making it grow and supporting players, investing in them, in making it grow. So I guess my point there is when I talk about vision, and if you really want to become a digital leader, it's really having a clear picture on what your ending is going to be like. It's like beginning with an end in mind, as Stephen Covey would said in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So I hope that is something that you may want to ponder. I know that it can be tough because sometimes you don't really have a clear picture, but I'm sure that if you're going to think about it more, talk to your friends about it, you will get a lot of interesting inputs. And um, and as you develop your business model as well, and see what are the possibilities, what are the options that you may have, then that vision will become much clearer for you. Okay? So, the second aspect that I would like to tackle when it comes to becoming a digital leader, it's all about empowerment. And when I talk about empowerment, it's all about um, what can you do for others to the point that it's not just about serving their needs or giving them a product or service that they can purchase, but how will this help them in their lives? How will this help empower them? How will this make them successful in solving a problem? And if that problem is resolved or is addressed and they become successful, how it will impact their lives? Um, when we started Digital Filipino, it's always about building a community from day one. And although our community size is very limited, I I guess it was deliberately done that way because we know that we cannot really serve everybody either. But by doing it that way, also it allowed us to have a higher quality of relationship with people, and then in the process, it also paved the way for the creation of the Digital Filipino Club last 2003. And when the club got created, I was thinking, how do I make sure that this club would last long? No? When I say would last long, how do I make sure that after 1 year, it won't just fizzle out? How do I make sure na I will be able to stay with them for the long term and have a long term relationship with those people who will be joining the club. And that's when I thought of coming up with programs or activities that are really meant to help them, that can include giving them exposure to articles, to our podcasts, through our video talks, through our events, and networking events that will allow them to get to know each other, and hopefully in the process some of them will also be able to do business with each other, and even meet interesting people along the way. And I think by doing that, and by laying out that platform or that environment, it helped a lot of our members in more or less achieving their goals, so you become part of their success. So I think one of the most important qualities of a digital leader is that they should be able to empower others through the communities that they will be able to form, or through the communities that have invited them where they can share their skill, to the point that their success also becomes your success. All right? And the third one that I would like to share is all about inspiring. There's a difference between empowering people and giving them the resources to make things happen, but there's something different about being inspirational to others. And being inspiring can happen in a lot of ways. Like if you get the chance to go out there as a digital leader and share your vision to others, help others achieve their dreams, or maybe get an opportunity to talk where you can share your skill or share what you know. I think the you can say that you were able to achieve a certain level of success if that person who listened to you was inspired enough to take action based from what they learned from you. It's like you gave them that last kick that they need to get things done. Or maybe you provided them an insight or a reflection or a solution that they can use for their business. So it can be getting others to help them start a blog or start an e commerce business, or maybe giving them an idea that they can use on their next campaign because you discussed some of your insights in some of the campaigns that you have seen, or maybe your experience in advocacy. And when I talk about inspiring people, it's not about you, the digital leader, becoming a hero, but it's the other way around. You acting as a facilitator and recognizing that the people that you are touching through your work, through your articles, through your videos, through your presentations, among others, are just facilities for these heroes to realize their potential and make their ideas become a reality. Okay? And I think the next one that I would like to emphasize also, another important quality of a digital leader is all about being open. And I know it is easier said than done. Um, when I mention about being open is that sometimes we of course we put a lot of effort, a lot of hard work in the things that we do in our business and in our advocacies and in our projects. And unfortunately or fortunately, we will meet people along the way who will point out the problems that we may have, and they will give criticisms, they will give feedback, they will give suggestions. So it is important that we should have enough courage and humility, for that matter, to accept all of these inputs, whether positive or negative, being given to us. And another thing also is all about being open to competition. I remember being asked once that if I will meet people who are good in what they do and they compete with me, what am I going to do with them? And it was a very awkward question because I believe that there's an open market for competition. So that means that no one really dominates the market. And of course, there are new players that will come along the way. They will do what they have to do. And at the end of the day, existing players will do whatever they have to do. If what the existing players will do will end up affecting what the new players are doing, I think that's not about being unfair. It's really just about the nature of the marketplace. It's really all about competition. So I guess when you decide to become a digital leader, you have to be open enough in accepting that in competition, it's a fair game. It's fair play. You cannot be emotional in a sense that you will take offense if other people will, especially those that will get into a line of business that you may be in an area with, or maybe your customer will sooner or later also become your competition. That is just the reality of life, if you may call it, especially in this digital business where there are so many opportunities. There's a space for everyone under the digital sun, if I may call it that way. So it's important for us to be open-minded enough in accepting this as a reality, and it's an important quality of, I think, a digital leader must possess. And the next one that I would like to indicate is all about an important quality, and that is to be a thinker or to think. And of course, by default, all of us think, no? But I think, and I realize that there's a certain level of maturity when it comes to thinking. And when it comes to, and thinking is a skill that has to be developed. There are many ways that you can look at a situation. There are a lot of thinking experts out there who have given different thoughts on how you should think and look at various issues, how you should look at analyzing a situation, analyzing an opportunity, and being able to unleash that quickly and give it out fast, no? Give it out and not being emotionally attached either to any of the ideas. So I think if you really want to become a successful digital leader, you have to learn all of these various disciplines, various techniques on how you can think and how you can analyze situations. And in the process, when it is presented to you, it's like a business model on how can you look at an idea and implement it in 10 ways, and how each of the 10 will be different. Although it's an exercise that you might say, oh, that don't you think that would be a waste of time? You'll be spending a lot of time in doing that. But at the end of the day, that process is important because if it will help you come up with the best decision that can suit your target market, that will answer their needs, and that will provide a competitive edge for you, then please go ahead and do it. No? So the next one that I would like to emphasize, and I think this is my last point, and it's all about quitting. Um, I think one of the challenges of a digital leader, and I've seen a lot of people through the years, and a lot of them are not here anymore in with regards to their digital business. They might have tried to start venturing into something, but later on it doesn't work, and some of them are now working for corporate because they find themselves happier in that, while some of them have changed into another business and are no longer in the e-commerce space for one reason or another. But I think it is important that we don't fall in love blindly with the ideas that we have. Some of our ideas will work and some of them will not work. And as and you have to realize earlier on whether, as Seth Godin said, are you in a dip, no? And are you in a situation that no matter how hard you work, it will not change, or if you work harder and be more patient and put in more effort, things will change and things will get better. So I think the thing there is, if you think that it's not getting any better, no matter what you do, no matter what you do, it will not change that easily, then it's important that you already quit as early as you can. And there's no harm, and I mean, there's no, how do you call it? You cannot, through digital leaders, will not use your failures against you, because we all know that we often have to fail in order to realize what will make things work and what things that doesn't work, and how can we use those lessons in our future ventures, so that the lessons that we have learned, we can apply them, and hopefully we can do better and serve our stakeholders, our target markets better. No? So, I'd like you to think about which qualities are you currently strong at. Are you confident that you can quit if the need arises, especially if a situation doesn't work? Do you find yourself a flexible thinker and doesn't get hung up or too attached to your ideas too soon? Do you find yourself open enough to the point that you can accept criticism, suggestions from other people, and you are also open and not offended by competition? Do you consider yourself inspiring in a sense that you have this natural charisma of being able to touch other people, to take positive action, and doing so by empowering them, by providing a facility where you can communicate with them and empower them in the process. So I'd like you to think about those qualities of a digital leader. Which of these qualities are you currently strong at? What are the qualities that you think you still need to improve? And do you think, are there still other qualities that we need to take into consideration and add them to the list of qualities that a digital leader must have? So you can give your insight through the comment section of this video. And of course, I encourage you also to log in to leaderbootcamp.digitalfilipino.com and participate in the hands-on exercise so that you can take this lesson further and know more about our succeeding videos in the Digital Leader Bootcamp series. So thank you for joining, and thank you for taking time and watching this video.